Allergies. They affect an estimated 17 million adults and 7 million children in the United States. Allergic conditions are the most common health issues affecting children. Allergies are a number of conditions caused by hypersensitivity of the immune system to something in the environment that usually causes little or no problem in most people, resulting in symptoms that range from sneezing and watery eyes to body rashes and in severe cases, life-threatening anaphylaxis. From people with allergies to water to those that have suffered severe reactions to wood, we count 10 outrageous allergies other than that from food. Number 10. Allergic to sun. Sun allergy is a term often used to describe a number of conditions in which an itchy red rash occurs on skin that have been exposed to sunlight. The most common form of sun allergy is polymorphic light eruption, also known as sun poisoning. Some people have a hereditary type of sun allergy. Others develop signs and symptoms only when triggered by another factor, such as a medication or skin exposure to a plant such as wild parsnip or limes. Mild cases of sun allergy may clear up within treatment. Most severe cases may be treated with steroid creams or pills. People who have a severe sun allergy may need to take preventive measures to wear sun protective clothing. The appearance of the skin affected by sun allergy may vary widely. Depending on the disorder that is causing the problem, signs and symptoms may include redness, itching or pain, tiny bumps that may merge into raised patches, scaling, crusting or bleeding, blisters or hive. Signs and symptoms usually occur only on skin that have been exposed to sun and typically develop within minutes to hours after sun exposure. Number 9. Wood. Wood allergies can definitely be troublesome. While people are allergic to certain types of wood or sawdust, there are cases where people are allergic to any type of wood in many types of forms, whether it is dust or solid. Along with wood allergies comes the fact that you can't touch paper, use a pencil. The allergy can be so strong that it can cause the skin to look as if it is burned. In most cases, wood allergies cause skin irritation, coughing, sneezing, and hives. Interestingly enough, one 32-year-old banker quit his £80,000 a year job to live his dream as being a carpenter, only to discover he had developed an allergy to wood. Luckily for him, he found a wood he wasn't allergic to, Welsh oak, and moved on. Number 8. Vibration. For people with vibratory hives and allergy to vibration, hanging out next door to a speaker at the festival will not be the best idea. Even something as simple and harmless as a toilet drying session can result in an itchy, bumpy skin rash, sometimes alongside tiredness and even blurry vision. Scientists have now figured what drives this bizarre response to the cellular level and the faulty gene responsible. Imagine if rubbing a towel against your skin after a shower, jogging or track or going for a bumpy car ride made you break out in itchy hives. It does happen to some people. Fortunately, vibratory urticaria or vibratory hives is a rare condition, but one that's getting some attention thanks to a study from National Institute of Health that's uncovered a genetic reason for the allergy. Researchers looked at 36 people from 3 different families. Some of the people suffer from vibratory urticaria and some don't. It's a small sample, and as scientists found, it got smaller as they began to study. Number 7. Water. The human body is about 60% of water by weight, so it's a little shocking that you can be allergic to it. Aquagenic urticaria is an incredibly rare syndrome where the sufferer's skin erupts in rashes whenever it comes in contact with water. It can only take a minute or so of exposure to trigger the symptoms. The temperature of the water doesn't seem to make any difference, and in some cases sufferers are even triggered by their own tears. In worst case scenarios, people with aquagenic urticaria can experience difficulty breathing after drinking water. The condition is more commonly observed in women than in men, and there is no known treatment. Number 6. Exercise. A few people are actually allergic to exercise, and in very rare cases a sweaty workout could be enough to kill them. Exercise-induced anaphylaxis is a fairly rare condition which can cause hives, fainting, vomiting, and difficulty breathing during a workout, and the symptoms can last up to 4 hours after it. In some cases, it can be triggered by certain foods eaten before exercise, like peanuts, shellfish, eggs, or even celery. But this isn't just your average food allergy, an expert explains. As you exercise and your heart rate speeds up, your body starts wheezing through organs much faster and therefore more frequently than it normally does. For those with exercise-induced anaphylaxis, the normal amount of celery antigens picked up by blood isn't enough to bother them. But while exercising, the extracellular bits their blood is picking up causes an allergic reaction. Running and jogging are most likely to trigger an attack, but other strenuous activities like dancing, volleyball, skiing, and even yard work can also cause a reaction. Number 5. Electromagnetic fields. For some time now, people with unexplained and recurring headaches, dizziness, and skin irritation have been blaming their often severe discomfort on sensitivity to electromagnetic field sources, a condition sometimes called electromagnetic hypersensitivity, or EHS. According to the World Health Organization, those who are self-described with EHS report adverse reactions to electromagnetic fields at intensities well below the maximum levels permitted by international radiation safety standards. The majority of provocation trials to date have found that such claimants are unable to distinguish between exposure and non-exposure to electromagnetic fields. A systematic review in 2005 showed no convincing scientific evidence for symptoms being caused by electromagnetic fields. Since then, several double-blind experiments have shown that people who report electromagnetic hypersensitivity are unable to detect the presence of electromagnetic fields and are likely to report an ill health following a sham exposure as they are following exposure to genuine electromagnetic fields. Science is nowhere near convinced that Wi-Fi allergies are legit. It's one of the first times in court of law has recognized EHS or electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome, which is incredible given that actual hard evidence linking adverse health effects and Wi-Fi signals is pretty negligible. Number 4. Allergic to cold temperatures. Cold urticaria is a disorder where hives or large red wells form on the skin after exposure to cold stimulus. The wells are usually itchy and often the hands and feet will become itchy and swollen as well. Hives vary in size from about 7 mm in diameter to as big as about 27 mm diameter or larger. The disease is classified as chronic when hives appear for longer than 6 weeks. They can last for life, though their cause is often unpredictable. This disorder, or perhaps two disorders with the same clinical manifestation, can be inherited or acquired. The acquired form is most likely to occur between the ages 18 to 25, although it can occur as early as 5 years old in some cases. Number 3. Allergic to underwear. An allergy to underwear is a contact dermatitis or an itch rash. People can be allergic to fabrics, dyes, chemicals and preservatives and clothes, like latex, which is commonly found in the wristbands of underwear. For example, people with the allergy don't see negative reactions to oil or alcohol. Allergic contact dermatitis is one of the most common symptoms of an allergic reaction to cloths. It causes redness, swelling, and inflammation of the skin, as well as itchy, elevated, blistering lesions. The blisters often break and leak fluids that eventually cross over, making the skin scaly. Chronic itches and inflammations causes the skin to darken and become cracked and leathery. Acne and folliculitis can result from oil contamination from clothes. Symptoms of folliculitis include itching, pimples, and a rash near the follicles exposed to the fabric. Blistering and red lesions are often observed when metallic dust particles in clothes combine with sweat. Number 2. Corns. Doctors refer to nickel allergy as an allergic contact dermatitis, which means the skin is only affected if it comes in contact with an object containing nickel. Although some people may have a genetic predisposition to nickel sensitization, for most people it's triggered by long-term environmental exposure. It's like a switch, says Dr. Anneli Julanda. Someone might be exposed to nickel every day without a problem, and then one day it just flips over you. The condition can be controlled by avoiding objects made with nickel or nickel alloys. But that's easier said than done, with everything from jewelry to jeans stuff and door handles to keys containing the metal, and for most people, the sensitization to nickel is lifelong. Number 1. Allergic to object. Dermatographic urticaria manifests as an allergic-like reaction. In general, a warm red will appear on the skin. It can often be confused with an allergic reaction to the object causing the scratch, when in fact it is an act of being scratched that causes a will to appear. These wills are a subset of hives that appear within minutes, in some cases accompanied by itching. The first outbreak of urticaria can lead to others on body parts not directly stimulated, scraped or scratched. In a normal case, the swelling will decrease with no treatment within 15 to 30 minutes, but in extreme cases, itchy red wells may last anywhere from a few hours to days. Symptoms are thought to be the results of histamine being released by mast cells on the surface of the skin. Due to the lack of antigens, histamine causes the skin to swell in affected areas. If the membrane that surrounds the mast cells is too weak, it will easily rapidly break down under the physical pressure, which will therefore cause an allergic-like reaction. Symptoms can be caused or induced by stress, tight or abrasive clothing, heat or cold, anything placing pressure on the exposed skin. The underlying cause of dermatographic is not known and can last for many years without relief. The condition may subside and be effectively cured. However, it is often a lifelong ailment. It is not a life-threatening disease and is not contagious. So that's it guys. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.